Did you know that the average person forgets 70% of what they learn within 24 hours? That means, even if you just finished reading a fascinating article or chapter, you'll probably forget most of it by tomorrow. And that's not all. Studies show that by the end of a week, we can forget up to 90% of new information. But here's the good news: it doesn't have to be this way. What if I told you that there are simple tricks you can use to remember everything you read, and even remember it for years? Imagine retaining all those interesting facts, tips, or stories you come across in books, articles, or lectures. In this video, I'm going to reveal the ultimate memory hacks that can help you remember everything you read. From brain exercises to memory palaces and even fun techniques like chunking, I'll show you how to unlock the power of your mind. Stick around, because these strategies are easy, effective, and will change the way you learn forever. Chapter 1. The Memory Muscle. Unlock your brain's true potential. Your memory is like a muscle. If you train it, it gets stronger. Imagine trying to lift a heavy weight without training first. Your brain works the same way. If you don't exercise it, it won't perform at its best. Neuroscientists agree that the brain can grow stronger with the right mental exercises. Studies show that just 20 minutes of brain training a day can improve your memory, focus, and even your overall intelligence. So, how do you start? Begin with simple exercises like recalling what you had for breakfast or the last few pages of the book you read. Small steps make a big difference. Chapter 2. The Power of Visualization. Transform words into images. Here's the trick. The brain remembers pictures better than words. In fact, we retain visual information 60,000 times faster than text. You've probably heard of the saying, "A picture is worth 1,000 words." Well, when you visualize what you read, it's like creating a mental picture that sticks. For example, if you're reading about a forest, imagine the tall trees, the smell of pine, and the sounds of birds. This mental movie makes the information easier to remember. A study from Harvard showed that using imagery to encode information helps our brains retain details up to 3 times more effectively. Next time you read, turn those words into pictures and watch your memory improve. Chapter 3. Memory Palaces. Your brain's hidden vault. Want to take your memory to the next level? Try using a memory palace. This ancient technique involves associating information with familiar places, like your home or school. The idea is simple. You place the things you want to remember in different rooms of your mental palace. When you need to recall something, you simply walk through the rooms of your mind and pick up the information. It might sound strange, but it's incredibly powerful. In fact, experts like Joshua Foer, author of Moonwalking with Einstein, used this technique to win the U.S. Memory Championship. Studies show that memory palaces can boost recall by up to 50%. The key is to make the spaces in your palace memorable and vivid, so your brain has an easier time retrieving the information later. If you're enjoying these tips so far, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more memory-boosting hacks. Hit that bell so you never miss a trick. Chapter 4. Active Reading. The Art of Interrogating Your Text. Ever tried to read something while your mind is wandering? It's no surprise that you forget it quickly. To fight this, try active reading. This means engaging with the material, asking questions, and summarizing as you go. For example, ask yourself, what's the main point of this paragraph? Or, how does this relate to what I already know? This technique forces you to think deeply and interact with the material. Research from the University of California shows that people who actively engage with what they read retain 70% more information than those who simply passively read. You'll be amazed at how much more you remember by just being present and involved with the text. Chapter 5. Chunking. Turning large ideas into bite-sized pieces. Have you ever tried to memorize a long string of numbers, like a phone number? It's easier when you break it down into smaller parts. This is the principle of chunking. By organizing information into bite-sized pieces, you make it much easier for your brain to remember. For example, instead of trying to memorize a 15-page chapter all at once, break it into 3 5 key ideas. A study by cognitive scientist George Miller found that the human brain can only hold about 7 pieces of information at once. So, when you're reading, group information into manageable chunks to avoid overwhelming your mind. You'll find that this strategy helps you retain information longer and more effectively. Chapter 6. Review Rituals: The Secret Sauce to Long-Term Retention. You've probably heard that practice makes perfect. Well, the same goes for memory. One of the most important strategies for remembering what you read is consistent review. This technique, called spaced repetition, is based on the idea that the more you revisit information, the stronger your memory becomes. Studies show that we forget 70% of what we learn within 24 hours if we don't review it. However, if you revisit material at set intervals, you can retain up to 90% of it in the long term. A simple way to apply this is by reviewing your notes every day for the first week, then weekly after that. The more often you review, the more solid the information becomes in your brain. Enjoyed these strategies? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all our memory tips. Let's keep boosting your brainpower together. Conclusion: remembering everything you read doesn't have to be difficult. By treating your memory like a muscle, visualizing what you read, creating mental palaces, engaging with your material, chunking information, and reviewing regularly, you can drastically improve your ability to retain information. These strategies may sound simple, but when used together, they form a powerful toolkit for unlocking your brain's full potential. So, the next time you pick up a book, try out these techniques and watch how much more you remember. Happy reading!